My name is Anil Lewis. I'm the Executive Director of Blindness Initiatives for the National Federation of the Blind, and very pleased to bring to you this presentation on the Accessibility Switchboard. The National Federation of the Blind, through sponsorship from the state of Maryland through a non-visual accessibility initiative grant that's administered by the Maryland Department of Disability, was pleased to work in collaboration with Accessibility Track Consulting to develop this one-of-a-kind portal that brings businesses, government, and educational institutions into the same accessibility portal that's used by consumers. And it's done in a way that onboards people to accessibility without all of the heavy weight of WCAG compliance and language that they may not necessarily understand. The National Federation of the Blind recognizes that if we're supposed to move the needle around increasing accessibility to the web, to other products, services, then we need to take the lead in doing so. And we're proud to have partnership with the state of Maryland and Chris Law of Accessibility Track Consulting. I'll leave it to Chris to explain the ins and outs of the Accessibility Switchboard.
Thank you, Anil. Yes, it's been my pleasure to be working on this project now since its inception back in 2017. And what we wanted to do for this video was just give a short update on the sort of things that are planned for the 2021-2022 timeframe. To begin shortly. The switchboard, the design of the switchboard is now showing its age just a little bit, in that when we started, we looked at the different user groups. We thought of groups like business and industry, consumers, educational institutions, and government. And the design of the switchboard in the first page is like an old-timey switchboard where you connect those types of users with the things that they're looking for. So in this example that I'm showing here, educational institutions who then need guidance, and you click on those two things and you get a list of the resources that we're producing in the switchboard. But coming up, we're going to be thinking about doing a bit of a redesign of the site. Because the audiences have expanded significantly over the last few years. So for example, the legal side, we think of legal practitioners and business developers. And those are different audiences looking for different things. So I think that someone who's a lawyer coming into our site might be looking at the site as it's designed right now and saying, okay, what is it that I'm supposed to be looking for? And so we need to serve that audience now. And so we'll be doing some updates. We'll also be dividing the content to be easier for consumers versus practitioners. They're two very different audiences who come into the site with two very different types of questions. And so we need to make sure that we're serving those needs and not make, I think if things are maybe just a little bit too confusing for consumers right now, we maybe need to divide the site up into two very distinct sets. One of the other things that we are going to grow in 2021-22 is in our community of practice. Right now we have 35 member organizations in the community practice. I won't name them all here, but they're available on the website. These organizations help guide the development of new content, and they help review content as it is created. And so the community of practice is pivotal and vital in the whole process of creating things that we can give out as advice that has been vetted by the members of the community, the accessibility community. What are the contents that we're developing in the next year? In addition to, we have currently 14 guides that are on the site and 16 shorter Q&A articles. All of the guides and the articles are designed to be short, even though in this day and age, people expect all the answers in one page. A lot of the stuff that we are doing doesn't warrant one page. It warrants step-by-step guidance, but concise and well thought out. And so we think that that's what we've got for the guidance that's on the site already. But we are thinking about adding some new guidance this coming year. For example, how to train staff in accessibility. All of your staff, that is, not just your website developers, but all of your staff. How to find and address ableism in development. This has been a key theme in the formation of the content for this year's Legal Summit, actually, is addressing ableism. And then the actual process of accessibility consulting. Half of our community of practice members are accessibility consultant firms or individuals. We want to learn and distill what their best practices are, and then convey that to a wider audience. We also want to update some of our Q&A articles, particularly around legal responses. We have proactive and reactive legal responses that we give advice on. We're also going to be adding in new guidance on, or short articles on, dashboarding to keep track of your accessibility at your organization. This is a big thing in the last 5 years, as more and more organizations are turning to dashboarding to keep aware of what their accessibility projects are doing. And then overlays and widgets. Again, another topic that has been introduced in the last couple of years and become quite contentious. And people are looking for advice on what is it that I should be doing with overlays and widgets. So we will go back to the community of practice, and we'll generate new content based off of what folks say. So that's it for a quick update of what is going to be coming in the near future with the switchboard. We do welcome additional members of the community of practice. And so just get in touch. And the website is www.accessibilityswitchboard.org. And I'll hand it back to you, Anil, for the last word.
Thanks, Chris. Again, we hope that you will visit accessibilityswitchboard.org and provide any input that you may have. And please use it as a resource and share it with others. I'd like to echo Chris's sentiment that we appreciate the volunteer efforts of our Accessibility Switchboard community of practice, whom without their volunteer expertise and resources wouldn't be able to compile such a viable resource. Again, the National Federation of the Blind knows that blindness is not the characteristic that defines you or your future. And every day we raise expectations of blind people because we realize it's those low expectations that create obstacles between blind people and our dreams. And we believe you can live the life you want, and that blindness is not what holds you back. But lack of accessibility to the web and other services and devices can. So we're pleased to offer the Accessibility Switchboard to empower you with the tools that you need to create a more accessible experience for everyone. Thank you.